While I'm a big fan of doing Roth conversions, there's several scenarios that can blow up in your face, resulting in you paying way too much in taxes. In today's video, I'm going to show you when it doesn't make sense to do a Roth conversion and why. Let's jump in. In order to understand a situation where it doesn't make sense to do a Roth conversion, we need to start with when it absolutely does make sense. And that answer is easy. If you ever find yourself in the 10 or the 12% tax bracket, that's where we're going to recommend you do conversions all day long. The 12% tax bracket is the lowest bracket that you may ever see in your lifetime because the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is set to sunset in 2026. So tax rates are definitely going higher. So the 10 and the 12% tax bracket is an absolute place where you should do the Roth conversion. But let's explore when it doesn't make sense to do a conversion. When you find yourself in this 22 or 24% bracket, we would call that the gray area. Why we say gray area is because in 2026, the 22% bracket becomes 25 and the 24% bracket becomes 28. So you could make a case that if 10, 15, 20 years down the road, your income was going to be significantly higher, perhaps due to large required minimum distributions, then maybe converting in 2024 and 2025 can make some sense because it's going to be a baked-in tax savings. On the other hand, if you find yourself in any one of the following brackets, if you're in the 32, 35, 37% bracket, it's really hard to justify doing a Roth conversion now or really anytime because that is just a significant amount of money you're going to pay in taxes because of the bracket that you find yourself in. Let me give you some specifics so you can see firsthand what I'm talking about. In order to coach you better, I'm going to show you this example. This is a retired couple that have no ordinary income. They are taking distributions from their IRAs, although they're not large yet, about $33,000 in distributions, and they're taking Social Security income, about $60,000 in Social Security. So they've got about $93,000 of income coming in, and this is who we just looked at, that's in the 12% tax bracket. In fact, you could see it right here, 12% bracket, the total tax bill, $2,837. Really, really low bracket. So what we do is we're going to solve for how much money could they convert and still stay in that 12% bracket. And we think that they can convert somewhere around $42,500. And the one thing you need to be aware of when you do those Roth conversions is not paying extra in Medicare premium due to IRMA. That's another example of when it doesn't make sense to do conversions is if you're going to convert so much that your Medicare surcharge gets significantly higher, that's another case where you may not want to consider. Back to our example here, this is the person who can do, and we'll just put in, they find themselves in the 12% bracket. We're going to put in a conversion of $40,000. So in this example, we just put a Roth conversion of $40,000 in, and now we're going to run a tax report, and we're going to see that they are still in the 12% tax bracket, and their total tax has now bumped up to $10,429. But this makes all the sense in the world because they're in that 12% bracket and pay taxes here while we have that bracket around. Now I'm going to show a scenario where somebody finds themselves in the 24% bracket. So in the middle column here, they are not doing a Roth conversion. They have to pay $34,386 in federal taxes, being in that 24% bracket. They've got taxable income here of $201,000. In the scenario on the right, we've now shown a $40,000 Roth conversion, and you can see that $40,000 conversion right there. And in this Roth conversion, you now see that taxable income, so total income has now gone from 234 up to 274, and then taxable income bumps from 201 to 241. But the resulting tax bill goes from $34,386 up to $44,903. So it's a $10,000 increase in taxes. And when you divide $10,000 by 40, that's 25% in taxes that they're having to pay. And that's just on federal. If you also have to factor in your state taxes as well, because that's going to be an additional cost. So we would make the case that for most folks, the 24% bracket is really one that you want to avoid doing Roth conversions in, and anything higher than that 24% bracket really should be avoided. So 24 all the way down to 37, we would typically suggest not doing conversions there. Again, 22 is a gray area. For some higher income folks, 24 might be a gray area as well. But if you ever find yourself in that 10 or 12% bracket, and that could be loss of a job, that could be the early phases of retirement and what we call the gap years, the years between retirement and when required minimum distributions have to kick on. In that 10 or 12% bracket, that's exciting times to really consider doing the Roth conversion. Additionally, this also can make a strong case for delaying your Social Security benefit to show less income on your 1040 tax return in order to do more conversions at the lower brackets, because that Social Security income is going to pull in and potentially is going to get added to your adjusted gross income. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it's clear on when you absolutely should do a conversion, when you absolutely should not do a conversion, and then what might be considered the gray area. There's a lot of nuances to this. The US tax code is very complex. It's anything but simple and concise. So if you want help navigating this, if you want to partner on your journey, please feel free to reach out. My team and I are here and we're happy to help you. Our goal is to help you save money on taxes, build wealth, and create peace around the issue of your money. Also, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel below and share this with anybody who you think can benefit. We'll see you on the next one.